Hey, this is Sam Black with my fourth match with Dredgevine in Modern. I'm on the play. I have a pretty good hand. Happy basically anytime I have two lands and a Satyr Wayfinder. And this hand actually has some other stuff going for it, like Lawlith Troll and a Vengevine to likely discard, but could also cast it. Murderous Cat's also a good card to have in my hand, of course. So I'm playing against Amulet, presumably. I think that means I need a Grave Troll. Or nothing. Nothing would have been a reasonable line there, but I hope I'm not dead. I'm probably dead. Which is why nothing would have been a reasonable line since I drew Abrupt Decay. Yep. Oh, wow. I am surprised that my opponent did not go for Slayer Stronghold since I'm tapped out. I wonder if he's getting Pact of Negation. Or they. Whoever it is that I'm playing against. No, Summoner's Pact. Okay, well, now we've got some options. I can cut the Titan if I play Wayfinder. Or I could just plan to blow up Amulet, which I don't really like, or I can play Vengevine, but that doesn't really accomplish much. Okay, I can Wayfinder Gravecaller, get Vengevine, but then alright, so I think I lead Wayfinder. I guess I have to lead Ghostcard or Wayfinder and then cut. Don't love it, but I don't think I can let Primeval Titan hang out and play. Don't think it's worth discarding Vengevine, but it's very close. Don't currently have a way to bring it back, but I also I'm not likely to cast it next turn. I think I'm likely enough to cast it before I can bring it back that it's correct to just hit for 2 here, though. Not to mention the chance that I want to discard it to Faithless Looting. I guess I didn't really consider the possibility that my opponent would just not have enough mana to play another Titan yet, but that, I guess, is what happens when you don't get the Slayer's Stronghold. For the record, I do not in any way like the way that my opponent has played this game from their side. Seems very obviously correct to get Slayer's Stronghold and attack, and then get Flare West after. You can't transmute that turn, but you just end up with so much more mana in play. There's Pact of Negation. So I can cast Vengevine, or I can Abrupt Decay. I think I like Abrupt Decay and Ghost Quarter. Not sure what my opponent is thinking about, since this can't be countered, and if my opponent plays Pact of Negation, they die to Ghost Quarter. But alright, so now I can set my opponent back a bit, get the beats going, and then the question is whether, I think I just discard Gravecrawler, not Vengevine, cast Gravecrawler, kill this thing. Next turn I can fetch another Overgrown Tomb and cast Vengevine. And attack for 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Alright, now we see what my opponent can do. Oh, if Slayer's Stronghold was in my opponent's hand the whole time, then these plays make a little bit more sense. Now I get to Lightning Axe the plant token, and then there's only one blocker. It blocks Vengevine, and my opponent takes 6. Exact. Opponent probably should have cast the Pact of Negation that I know about that would have made that not lethal. that was all pretty interesting. So now I want Thoughtseize, I want Ancient Grudge, I want Maelstrom Pulse, I want to consider Spellskite. I don't want Lightning Axe, even though it won that game, sort of. I don't think I want Gnaw to the Bone. I don't think that's the way we're trying to win this. Abrupt Decay is certainly worse than Ancient Grudge and Thoughtseize, and I can only have so many interactive cards. No, Dark Blast. Dark Blast is horrible. Let's see, what else can we cut here? It's a reasonable argument that Life from Loam is too slow. On the other hand, it's very good with Ghost Quarter, potentially. I think I want to have access to Life from Loam Ghost Quarter. You guys just don't bother with Spellskite. It's good, but I'm not really sure how good. Which is interesting given that I've played Amulet against it, but I still don't know. We'll do this. The sound is good. Alright, drawing Grave Troll. I'm pretty sure I want to cast Faithless Looting here. There's an argument for Ghost Quarter Pass in that it stops Amulet, Bounce Land, Summer Bloom into Titan, because I can just Ghost Quarter the Bounce Land. There's a weak argument for Gravecrawler just to get the beats going, but I think that I want to just do things, get my deck doing its thing. Discard this, discard this. And just hope my opponent doesn't have another perfect draw. No Amulet. Alright, so I'm about to get Ghost Quartered. Or not Ghost Quartered, Bojuka Bogged. So I have to decide in light of that if I want to dredge the Grave Troll, and the answer is yes, because I'll just cast Angler. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. Figuring out if I need to play the fetch land to get another land in my graveyard, or another card in my graveyard. I think the answer is that I might as well. I'm happy to be thinning anyway. Obviously I have to get rid of a bunch of good stuff, but the good stuff's all that to leave anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Leaving enough in here to force bog. Value Bloom. think I have to Ghost Quarter this to try to keep my opponent off 6 mana. This goes to 5, and then I don't know if my opponent has an untapped land. Yeah, I guess I have to discard both and keep this around. Wayfinder's not terribly important. I can fill my graveyard with Grave Troll, and I have lands in hand to play. Hit a Vengevine, but not a second Gravecrawler. Let's see. I think I just loot here. Discard this and I might want Thoughtseize. I'll discard this. I can just find a swamp with this thing. Presumably Slayer Stronghold. No Slayer Stronghold, because there's no amulet, so it wouldn't let Titan attack this turn anyway. Yep. It's not good for me. That's really bad. Might as well do this, I guess. Yeah, I didn't think there was going to be anything. Alright. Now we sit here while my opponent plays another bounce land, picks up West, transmutes West. Light of how this turn plays out, maybe I was supposed to wait on Thoughtseize. Reasonably likely to catch the Pact. Oh wow. I guess this makes some sense. Trades Titan for Angler, but gets 2 more lands, including the ability to haste the Titan that he goes for later, or they go for later. Double block. Yeah, here's where I wanted to cast Thoughtseize. That is not the same thing. I'm basically dead. I get hit by a hasted Titan. Faithless Looting into I don't think that there's a string of things I can draw. It's like looting into looting Vengevine into Vengevine. Maybe with the right string of lootings, Vengevines, and Gravecrawlers, I could get to the point where I bring back 2 Vengevines and cast 2 lootings, 2 Gravecrawlers, and a Vengevine, or 3 lootings, 2 Gravecrawlers, and get back to Vengevines or something. And win, depending on which lands my opponent gets or something. But there's even going to be a Titan to block, so that doesn't even really work. I guess maybe I'd leave them. I don't know. Actually, most of my lootings are exiled anyway. Maybe I'll draw Murderous Cut and be able to keep playing. Don't remember if my opponent set up another Titan. I assume so. Don't know why you wouldn't. Actually, even if I draw Murderous Cut, I can't attack because I'd be dead to the plant. So now we're back to the question about whether I want Spellskite. Might be better than Rotting Rats. His hand isn't great, but it does sort of get going. It has no interaction and gets going slowly. I don't think that works in this matchup. This is better. I would definitely keep that last hand against an unknown opponent, but not game 3 in this matchup. I think I just looting right away. Natural Jukabog again is pretty horrible for me. Got punished for not getting a lot of black before. I'll just get it this time. couple of 2-1s is not a realistic plan for beating Amulet. There was a quick check there to verify that I couldn't just discard Troll Angler to cast another Angler, and I would be 1 mana short if I did that. About to get bogged again. Fortunately, I can discard an Angler. I guess if I Ghost Quartered my opponent, it still would have paid for Angler. Probably should have done that, although my opponent hasn't played a land yet, and could have just played the Gemstone Mine that I know about, so wouldn't really be that effective. Alright. I don't really have any good attacks or plays. I'll just pass. Let my opponent get some more Titans. That can't end badly. Or the other way around. Can't end well. I guess there's one Maelstrom Pulse in my deck. I could draw that, unless my opponent gets Pact Negation, but this might be a matchup where one would side out Pact Negation. Yeah, maybe I needed to Ghost Quarter the Slayer's Stronghold before, in response to the other Titan. But I don't really think this was winnable either way. That's not a Murderous Cut. If I had Murderous Cut, attack with everything, Ghost Quarter the Slayer Stronghold, we might actually be in business. As is. If I Ghost Quarter Sunhome, this is 8 power. I'm at 4. Trying to figure out if I can Thoughtseize, then I'd be at 2. Block with these 2 is lethal. Block with this and this against a 7 is not lethal. Don't know what I really accomplished with Thoughtseize. But I'm curious, so I'll do it. Okay. That is not terribly effective. Alright, now I'll attack with this guy. Oh, if my opponent attacks with Primeval Titan and a plant, then I'm dead. That's kind of amusing. Alright, I'm dead. I'll not make my opponent go through the motions.